You know what? You're a tough bitch from the commentary community. They don't understand what they're with. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be the reason for people to have to call emergency.
And if I have to fly to Australia to get these people to understand what the I'm saying, I will fight for you, and I will pick up Bunny on the way there. Okay? Okay, and we'll take them all down. All right?
Yes, it'll be a 315, a serious assault. So one priority is still there. Yeah.
You guys are a lot nicer than we are on our recording.
Hi, hello, and welcome to the broadcast. Today we have with us, as per usual, SumBunniLuvsU.
Hello.
And also Xylie Star.
Why did Bunny sound so high society with that? Hello, hi.
I don't know. I think it must be the admin in her with the glasses.
Well, she's from Appalachia.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Don't start that.
She has been
I'll tell you.
She's been fussing all week on how people have been saying that, and it is hilarious.
It's like my own personal nightmare just playing out. That's one of the things that gets on my nerves. I'm like, because I don't understand why you would change it to the sh. Why would you? There's not the sh. I just don't get it.
How do you say it?
It's Appalachia.
It's Appalachia, not Appalachia. And she's been fussing all week on how people have said it, and
it just, all of it makes sense when you learn that dude's from Asheville. Like, as soon as I learned that, I was like, oh, everything makes sense now. They are, like, the most artsy douchebags. Of course, they're going to try and say it like they're a Yankee.
And that's what Willie went on to Tommy's stream, and Willie told Tommy the exact same thing. There were a bunch of hippies in Asheville. That's where
they really are. They all smell like piss and patchouli. Like, I can't stand people from Asheville.
Okay, introduce our guest.
Well, someone that definitely isn't from Appalachia is Beckett, who is with us today. Hello, Beckett. How you going?
Hey ladies. How you doing?
Hi, bestie.
Good.
Thanks for having me on finally. It's nice.
Yes,
of course.
You're an honorary broad today.
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
You know, it's
we didn't even give that to Matt Pitt when he first came on here.
well, you know, speaking as a true feminist who believes in all the women.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, right. No, actually, I asked Beckett to come on today with us because some things are going on with Rekieta Law. You know, he's in a pickle.
Oh, it's going great.
Yeah,
I think it's going great.
And Beckett, oh my god, Beckett has been covering it on Cope and Seed on his channel, and I wanted him to come on and talk to us about it. We could just have a conversation on what's going on with Rekieta, because I am just I'm flabbergasted from what little bit I am seeing about it. So like, I don't understand how people are sticking up for him. I don't get it.
So okay, we should probably give like a brief explainer of what who the Nick Rekieta actually is.
There you go. Okay.
That probably helps. Nick Rekieta is an alcoholic who occasionally does lawyer content. So Nick Rekieta has been around since 2016, 2017. He's a lawyer and gained a lot of attention through the Rittenhouse trial and the Johnny Depp trial. He was sat at around like 100,000 concurrent, so absolutely massive content creator.
Wait. He had 100,000 people in the chat as he was live.
In the chat while
I would die. I would die.
Oh man.
I would die. Cut my computer off.
It's funny you say that. So yeah, he found monumental success doing these kind of trial things. Now, Lawtube, or what is now Lawtube, kind of that format of having lawyers on discussing cases isn't new. It's been around, kind of. I think, you know, it had its moments during the skeptic period. We had lawyers on discussing, you know, things like the Sargon of Akkad case.
Okay.
But what Rekieta did that was different was he started to bring on panels of lawyers and kind of do live analysis of courtroom proceedings. Which
Wait,
was
that wasn't done
Oh.
before? Like, people didn't do
What?
that?
not really that like there might have been like little cases maybe, but I can't think of any. And I think it's because of his proximity to like Sector and the fact that IBS was going on that it sort of may have inspired this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, you know, he'd followed the sort of format that was emerging of, you know, you'd super chat in and that's how you get stuff read out. And this is sort of like the period where Warski Live was really massively growing as well. So,
Alright.
you know, he kind of took those formats, applied them to a law setting, became crazy successful over time. He's got long links to kind of like Sector, as I said, but like, you know, he was doing a Warhammer stream with Metica back in the late 2010s,
Oh,
and so
Ah.
he's not new
Oh.
to this group,
okay.
and he sort of grew out of, I believe, the Masterson community.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, he's been around.
So that kind of
Um,
explains. I mean, I'm not trying to jump ahead, but that kind of
Sure.
explains why Dick Masterson is doing what he's doing right now about it.
Oh, there are so many
Yeah.
little things about this because
Okay.
it's not just the thing we all know about Sector is it's not just, hey, let's report a story. Everyone's got their own little things that have gone on for years, or little beefs and arguments that have happened, and I don't think this is an exception to that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's also quite close links to Kiwi Farms and Null, who's
Right.
also having his little victory lap, which is nice, you know. It's nice.
He
it's nice for him.
he is. I see him on Twitter. I see
Yeah.
him on Twitter.
He's-
Not
he's
gonna
lapping
lie.
his laps,
Well,
for
I'm gonna be
sure,
honest.
yeah.
I'm kind of hoping he does get that that camera, the body
yeah.
camera. Oh my god, if he gets
He
that
wants
body camera.
He also wants kind of the court proceedings to be recorded.
Oh, I hope they are also.
No.
I
So
agree.
that's current petition.
Yeah.
But we are jumping ahead of it. So in the last year, Rekieta Law has kind of fallen from grace, shall we say? Let's say a year and a half. This began with his wife posting on locals, which were lewd images. Now, Rekieta's kind of reputation before all this was, you know, he's got 5 kids, he homeschools, he's a Christian, goes to church regularly, traditional person, only ever been with his wife, from what I can tell. And then, yeah, his wife started posting lewd images. He had a debate with a VTuber Turkey about whether he was a cuck.
Oh,
And
Nice.
do you know who Jack Murphy is?
I do
No.
not. Bunny,
Okay.
do you know?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's Bunny might be familiar with Jack's kind of content, at least part of it. So Jack Murphy ran something called the Liminal Order. I swear this is relevant. But he hung out a lot on Tim Pool's. He then went on a stream with Sydney Watson, and
I love Sydney Watson.
at the end, Sydney's reading off her super chats, and one of the super chats is, "Hey, can you ask about the cucking thing?" And this question comes in twice, and Jack Murphy loses his mind. And it turns out this red pillar, kind of, we need traditional conservative roles, we need men to be men, was shoving dildos up his ass and whoring his girlfriend out.
Wait a minute. I think I've seen that clip. I think I've seen that clip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the best Sydney Watson clip because she's got no idea what the is going on. It's brilliant.
Oh
So-
my god.
The reason I mention this is because, like many of us, Rekieta laughed at this because it was objectively hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
But now he's in the position where people are saying, well, aren't you just doing what Jack Murphy did? And that's kind of increased over time with kind of his wife and him becoming more should we say, open, which brings us nicely to April and Aaron.
Oh god.
So Aaron is a former radio DJ host thing in his local area. He's recently become a YouTuber, and I don't know, last year, 2, whatever. And he's married to a girl named April. Now, Aaron's plan for promoting his channel appears to have been to appears, in my opinion, because everyone is suing each other, to have been whoring his girlfriend out, his wife out.
Okay, so they got
my
something
God.
in common.
Well, I mean, when I say whoring, I mean like sort of the visual aspects.
Right.
Like he'd bring her on scantily clad and things, and you know, all this shit, and then he started
Like
linking
eye
up with
candy.
Rekieta. Yeah. You know, like come watch us. You know,
I mean, there's gaming channels that do that. There's one gaming channel, they do like the, you know, the kind of games that you stand and play like an arcade or whatever. There was this one arcade.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, there was an arcade channel that he would constantly have his wife and, you know, her scantily clad, and the camera just sit perfectly at a certain spot of her body. You know, so yeah, it's been done before, definitely.
So, like, I'm not here to judge. I think it's more the fact that right now, Aaron is pleading for sympathy because he hooked up with Rekieta, according to some rumors, quite literally, though I don't know if that's true. Apparently not. Apparently, there's a lot of denial. It was all jokes and larks. But they started sharing their wives, and doing quite a lot of drugs. Now, Aaron's comment here is, well, I should have done something. I should have stopped it. I'm a failure. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, kind of.
Oh my god.
But he's doing his little media tour now. So those are the players. I know we're jumping around a little bit because there's a lot, but basically, earlier, like this week, the police broke the door down. They entered the house, and they arrested Nick Rekieta, his wife, and April on 3 charges: felony drug possession, child neglect misdemeanor, and a firearms charge for having spent shell casings and a firearm accessible underneath the bed.
Right.
That is my understanding of those charges.
And mind you, he has 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
And the youngest one is 6 or 8. Not that it matters between 6 and 8.
It's
but...
the ages are 6 to 16.
Yeah, 6 to 16. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. That's awful.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And
My thing is,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was gonna say, why would you even want to do drugs around kids? That would just ruin it.
The kids or the drugs?
The kids being around while you're doing the drugs. Like, I'm just saying, like, what? Like, that doesn't even sound fun to me. Like,
Wow.
that sounds like a nightmare with 5 kids.
Can you imagine taking acid around, just around screaming children?
Oh,
but like,
my God.
But yeah, so they were all arrested, and that sort of brings us up to kind of like the start of this drama spiral. There is one thing that's worth noting. Pretty much the day before this, I believe it was the day before, Rekieta lost his I believe it's an appeal. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but he lost the case he's currently dealing with, which is a civil case where he is being sued because he called someone a pedophile.
Oh, the
Right.
slander. It was like a slander case or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof.
And yeah, I think that brings us up to where we are. So yeah.
Okay, so here's one thing I don't understand. So apparently the charges got dropped on April.
Yes, yeah. So now I've spoken to the lawyer who covered the arraignment, so let's talk about the arraignment.
Okay.
See, the arraignment was objectively hilarious.
Okay, you know what? It was funny. You had put that in the group chat, so I was like, I'll go watch it. And I was watching it, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing about dead friends of somebody's son and crying.
Jude Jacob. Oh god, that stream. Hell. So okay. let's talk about that arraignment stream because it's incredible. So first things
Yeah.
first, it was streamed by somebody called God of Law, who I've spoken to, had on stream. Actually, he's pretty chill, but he decided that to keep a record and things, he'd stream the arraignment and kind of bring some people on. But firstly, we have the arraignment starting, and the first thing that happens pretty much is you see Rekieta there with his little camera on in the jail, and then somebody calls in, because you can join this. The link for it was on Twitter, and someone calls in and says the N-word. Somebody else tells Nick to kill himself. It's kind of it's a complete mess. Now, I can't imagine. Can you imagine just being like a random person, and you're there for your arraignment that day, and you just see 100 people join to call somebody a slur? You don't know.
That would be crazy.
That's wild.
So that's all happening. The arraignment itself for Nick is just a bit awkward, really. Because he knows people are watching him. This is probably some of the highest viewership he's had in months. And it's the lawyer man finally gets arrested, which is just, very ironic and funny. But that stream was crazy because they were bringing people on to talk about it. People who knew Nick, some were sad. It was very weird to see people plug their channels and stuff. Andrew's book, one of Nick's friends, Andrew's book got plugged. It's of all the times, hey, our friends in jail, by the way, buy my book on being a lawyer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was the parts that I saw of it, I was like, what are we, these are his friends? What?
What a time to be alive.
The guy you referenced crying is a guy named Steve Gosney, and Steve was on, and he is described as somebody who wears his heart on his sleeve.
You know what? And I can agree with that because he was definitely in his feels.
Yeah, I mean, he said, I remember when I went and talked to Nick and we were discussing some theology stuff, and then I had to do an 1.5-hour Rumble stream on why Nick was wrong. And I just thought, he's in jail. Are you, the way Steve sounds, I was like, are you sure you're not happy about this, Steve? Are you sure you're not sat there listen, I'm not saying God has punished Nick for arguing with me about Christianity, but I'm saying that, this could have been avoided.
That's hilarious.
It's just the way it looks. It's just...
God wears a mysterious ways.
So, but then Steve starts talking about his friend's son who's died. Now, his son has two friends named Jacob, Miami Jacob and Jew Jacob, and Jew Jacob recently died. And Steve asked Joe, who's another Lawtuber, what the correct observance would be for a Jewish person who's died, and then he starts crying about Jew Jacob. It's very weird. It's just a very, very strange, very strange thing to watch unfold.
Awkward. It was awkward. I sat there listening to it and going, okay.
That stream, it was an incredible train crash.
Wow.
I've never, it's been a while since I've seen anything like it. I'm so glad that it was televised.
Yeah.
It was legitimately incredible. So that was that was sort of the arraignment. Then we've sort of just been watching as everything's been crashing into the ground, really. So where do you guys want to focus? What else do you guys know, or I can fill in bits for?
I have a particular problem. All right. I have the problem of these people simping / white knighting for Rekieta. Because here is my issue. If you saw what him and his wife looked like when they got arrested, it looks like they couldn't take care of themselves. What makes you think they could take care of a 6-year-old?
Right. Exactly.
I don't get it.
I think it's a twofold thing. Firstly, I think it's, just typical people being fans. They're like, no, this is my YouTuber. If he wants to get high and neglect his kids, that's his choice. Kids should be able to take care of themselves. Why aren't they working in the mines anyway?
Oh my God.
Also, that kind of sentiment. But I also
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
another element to this, which is the fact that, you know, some of these people are very anti-government, they're very anti-police, and they're very, very libertarian. They don't feel like Nick should have been reported at all. They should have all been handled separately. And then you've got people like Barnes, who is another lawyer who is arguing this is all a constitutional issue, which is, you know, crazy. Actually, I don't really know how else to put it.
Well, who actually turned them in? Because I saw something about a teacher, and then I saw something about the preacher or pastor.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
4 separate people reported this
Oh.
to the priest, including the preschool teacher. This is my understanding, and then the priest reported it to the police. So that's kind of what the outcome was, basically. And then the police took actions. Now, the police had been observing Rekieta's streams for a significant period of time, I believe. So they weren't just like, oh, the priest says it. They were watching this like, yeah, this doesn't seem good.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether they saw the Baldo thing. That would, you know.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about this Baldo thing? Because like
I would love to. I would love to talk about
Oh
Baldo.
my god.
all of a sudden Twitter was filled with this word Baldo, and I'm like, what is Baldo? And I made the mistake of Googling what Baldo was. And I'm like, okay, so where does this fit in? And it's not like a literal thing that I'm asking here. I'm not asking where does it fit.
I'm not that much of a degenerate either. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, well, I loved
just like-
waking up.
A second.
Like,
I loved waking up
take
to
my
everybody.
mic. Yeah.
Everybody discovering what a baldo was, and then boy did I feel like a degenerate for already knowing what it is. So, yeah, it was just a strange day for me.
Yeah, so like, do we know why that come up at all? Like, I didn't know.
So, Rekieta has another friend, I believe it's Drexel, who left a Baldo at his house. Rekieta then did a stream reviewing the Baldo, and you know. So here's the thing. Rekieta's kind of fall has been like constant, and he did like a stream reviewing the Baldo and like how you'd use it, and everyone was like, haha, that's a joke. And then the cucking thing's like, haha, it's a joke. Then Rekieta did a stream talking about how he was basically manufacturing his own midlife crisis, and people were like, haha, that's a joke,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Right. And then like Rekieta kept doing things, and like there's another one where he like during he gets a load of Wine Mum fans during the Depp trial, and he does this stream in orange shorts, which I swear are these same orange shorts where he came on stream wearing nothing but these orange shorts and licked Aaron's face. And then he's like in this, he's like wearing cat's ears and an anime like Sailor Moon t-shirt and saying a woo a lot. It's very, you know, it's like there's a point where you're just like, listen, this isn't a joke anymore. This is just you being weird on stream.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Well, so the I think the core thing is like Rekieta is like a dude. He's like 42, and he's never been able to have like freedom and party and life, and you know he's only ever one woman. So now he's got money and drugs and power, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And I think he's just been like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah,
pretty much. So, did this Baldo thing happen before or after he gooned on stream?
I think kind of around the same time this is all developing. Like Rekieta hasn't been a law channel really for quite a while. He's almost like I've been going over some of it, and he's almost just like a general show now. He's almost just commentary.
Yeah, because I've seen him just like going off at people. Like I saw like the clip of like what was it, Medicare going into the stream going, oh wait, he's been gone for 45 minutes, what's going on? And then like, you know, he's coming back and just full on just going at Medicare and saying, you know, I hope you have like, you know.
Well, that's a stand-up bit, Eva. That's his new stand-up comedy, because he's been hanging out with Dick Marston a lot, and now he thinks he's a comedian.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like testing his stand-up. Well, I mean, not intentionally.
Not in the way that he thinks,
Okay. But Dick Marston's providing the most cover. Now, I have a theory. This is tinfoil hat Beckett.
Okay.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Masterson hates a lot of other people in Sector.
Right.
So, like, for instance, people... I realize that very few people remember Project 2. New Project
What's
2.
that?
Okay, so New Project 2 was Dick Masterson's alternative to Patreon. And
Oh.
Oh.
PPP is the one who went hard and basically dismantled the entire thing.
Why?
So, yeah, he just absolutely smashed it to pieces. And now PPP's going at... And that stream, by the way, where PPP goes at Masterson, is a Rekieta stream.
Oh.
Oh. Ooh.
So now you've got a situation where PPP and everyone else are going after Nick, who's Dick's friend, and Dick is going super hard on the defensive. And I think some of it's very personally motivated.
Yeah, because they've got a lot of background issues, don't they? Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I see a lot of defense. I still haven't watched where Stardust went and talked to Dick Masterson about it. I still haven't watched that. But just seeing him on Twitter and like fighting with everybody. But then you see somebody like was it Nate the lawyer or whatever?
Mm.
He sat there. Yeah, he sat there and he said, "I'm not simping for Nick. I'm not simping for Rekieta." He goes, "He's my friend. I want him to get better, but I'm not going to simp for him." And I can respect that.
Yeah, there's not much you can say in defense of somebody that's doing drugs around their kids. Like that, like do drugs a lot. Like if you're, don't have kids, yeah, do all the drugs you want. Like,
yeah, if
who
you don't
cares?
have any kids,
But-
I don't care what you do. But I mean,
yeah,
the simple fact that you're doing them with, them in the house, you have a gun underneath your bed, and you have kids in the house. Like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, all that you can't defend that.
No, you cannot. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where people are going to have a lot of vested interest in this because Nick's not as big as he used to be. That's true.
Right.
But he is still a big draw. He still has a captive audience. And when we say not as big as he used to be, I mean, yeah, he's got like 440,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But he's also got a Rumble contract. He's big on locals. And when you're thinking about smaller creators, you're thinking about people who are, maybe getting 4 or 5K views a stream.
Yeah.
But that's still like Rekieta's still big numbers compared to them. And if Rekieta covers a big thing, you want to protect that investment.
Right.
And your networking shit. The other side is, I think, it's funny when it's somebody you don't know. When it's somebody you've kind of associated yourself with, you think, well, I'm a little bit worried about what this is going to do to my reputation if this person goes down, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that does make sense. That does make sense. I don't know. I just, for some reason, I'm looking at a lot of these lawyers on YouTube. I'm looking at them sideways now.
Well, I mean, you should probably always look at the lawyers sideways. They're lawyers.
Well, true. I mean, but
true.
no, I mean, but like, it's almost like a lot of these lawyers, they don't, I don't know, they just don't they don't act like how I thought lawyers acted.
I think some of them are really stupid. Like, unironically. I said this, they keep saying this thing where, and Nick's allegedly on drugs. And I'm like, what do you mean allegedly on drugs?
Bro,
He's got
that's
a house
not
full
alleged.
of cocaine. And, look at him. Look at him. What do you think do you think he's riddled with parasites? Come on, guys.
He might be riddled with parasites.
Bunny, we are not starting the parasite talk. Now is not the time, Bunny.
Well, I was talking to God of Law on stream. We ended up talking about Chris Chan, and I said, allegedly Chris Chan had relations with their mother. And God of Law said, "Oh, well, I don't think it's alleged anymore." And I was like, "What do you mean it's not like?" So you'll say alleged for Rekieta being high, but like Chris Chan's a definite. Like it just the standards here are so weird.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think it's the sound. I do agree. I think there is a curse on the Sonichu medallion.
I don't.
Oh,
I disagree.
yeah, for
I
sure.
disagree. I think
Really?
all of you are wrong. Yeah, I don't think it's the Sonichu medallion.
What
I
do you
don't.
What
think
do
it
you
is?
think it is?
I think it's being friends with Matica.
Oh,
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I
that's
might be onto something.
because every single person who's had a serious positive relationship with Jim seems to have
Yeah.
completely f***ed their lives up. Worski,
What's he
Ralph,
doing?
like Monday Matt, Sargon did it. Like yeah, Ralph. Now Nick. Yeah.
Wait a
every
minute now.
time-
Worski came back though.
Yeah, but you can come back from the Metica curse, but
Oh,
like
okay.
it'll get you.
But you'll
That's the
still.
thing.
Yeah.
Flamenco,
Okay.
like Flamenco. I think some other people have had shits. Obviously like Michael Alberto. Anybody who Jim seems to get close to implodes. Like you know,
Wow.
the only person that seems to be fine at the moment is Pippa the rabbit.
I don't even know who that is.
No, neither do I. And that's
They're-
probably why
They're
they're
out of the
fine
drama.
because
Yeah.
They're a VTuber. They can be funny. They're good. I like Pippa.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's it. I think the Sonichu medallion is a false flag curse. I think the real curse is the Metica curse. I think that's what's getting people.
Yeah.
Damn.
And when Jim dies, all of them will die within 14 days.
Oh my God! Don't
God.
say that.
Okay.
Don't say no.
Somebody write that down.
I disavow. I disavow.
We're
Oh
like
my-
Final Destination. Fucking
Yeah.
Oh
insane.
my God!
clean everybody
no.
up. Yeah.
Holy crap! So what do you?
That's when the
Okay.
mental happy.
So like, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
Okay, so I said this we're now recording as well. I think the worst Nick's going to serve, like the average for a charge like this is apparently, and again I'm going on what legal people have said, 12 to 122 months. I think that the worst case scenario is that Rekieta will serve about a year in prison, and then be released on probation or whatever to basically seek treatment. Now, I think that's the worst case. I think it's probable that he'll just get probation. He'll forfeit the firearms. Now, the big question is what happens with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because-
his wife is also
Yeah.
like convicted, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
there's multiple sides to this. So, like April's got released with no charges. We mentioned this earlier. Now, that could be for one of two reasons. Either it's because she's cooperating, or because she's down as a guest, so they can't really hold her on anything. So like they can't say, well, they were your drugs. You can just say, well, I was a guest in the house, I didn't know about them.
Well,
Don't want my firearms, so-
because Rekieta had told them that him and his wife stayed in the main bedroom, and that's where they found everything.
Yeah.
Well, most of
Right.
it was in the main bedroom.
So it could be one of the two things. Now, the problem is that both Rekieta and his wife are, you know, pretty strung out. So it'll either go one of two ways. They'll both get clean, they'll get the kids back, or one of them will get clean and have to divorce the other to get the kids back.
Right.
But it also, I
Yeah.
saw something that just suggests that Nick doesn't really like his kids.
What?
Oh.
Wow. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Allegedly,
Allegedly, is that what we're
Yeah.
doing? Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's like they're a burden. You know, he wants to go and do coke. And...
Yeah, I suppose when it gets to that point where, as you said, he hasn't done anything for most of his life and he's in his 40s, and now he's kind of like wanting to do all this stuff, and he's like, oh, I've got the
Yeah.
kids. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, that's kind of selfish
sad.
in the way that he's doing that, but then at the same time, he kind of, you know, forfeited his life to be able to have a family and do all these things with his wife and whatever, and then I don't know, maybe it just took a turn for himself and just went, well, this, like, and I think that's got partly to do with the drugs as well, because it went, and the money and the
Yeah.
power and everything that goes along with it, like, get to the point where you sort of have this like high man on a, you know, pedestal syndrome going back.
Yeah, my kids are holding me back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
God, yeah, imagine feeling
Yeah.
that. That's just a shell
That's why
of
you
hell.
think about that before you have kids.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Look, listen, it's not drugs or anything, but if I want to get out of my house at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to 7-Eleven because I feel like I want to have a coffee, I want to be able to do that. I can't just do that
Yeah.
when you have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've thought about that. You didn't like have kids and then decide.
Exactly.
He should have done it. That
I
way.
mean, but like in all seriousness, though, I mean, I really do hope someone in the situation decides they want to get sober and be there for those kids. Because, I mean, look, I know we're supposed to be sitting here laughing at people on the internet and stuff like that, but this one actually has, like, if it was just him and his wife, no children involved, I would be laughing my ass off at this. I really would. I would be laughing to high heaven. But the mother hen in me can't help but to think about the kids.
Right.
Yeah, it ain't fair to them.
I can't help
No,
but
they
to
didn't
think
do
about
anything.
that.
They just exist. So.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I go back to laughing at Rekieta. But then, you know, I go back to thinking about the kids. Like, what's going to happen with the kids?
Yeah, you're
man?
thinking about his kids way more than he was.
Well, Metica said this. You know, like those kids have gone from the possibility of, yeah, my dad's Nick Rekieta. He's like on TV. He's on Fox News. He's this great legal expert. To like, my dad got strung out publicly.
Yeah.
On the internet. Like,
that is so sad.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
even want to know anymore. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sad.
Oh,
You know, I caught the tail end of the Medicare stream, and he sounded really concerned for Rekieta.
Well,
You
yeah.
know?
I mean, it's Jim's fault. He cast him.
Yeah, he did not.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you were so bad. You were so bad.
He has me convinced. He had enough evidence there. I say, yeah,
Okay.
it's not Chris Chan's fault. I
Oh.
didn't think it would be.
Okay, Bunny, I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't take much to convince you about stuff like that.
That
I
is
love
very
you.
true.
Listen,
love
I say
you
it as
to
a
death.
Medica fan. I am sat here right now in a Medica hoodie. But like, I'm only going where the evidence leads me. Okay. So yeah, I think the issue with all of this is, so many people wanted Nick to succeed. I'll be honest. I'll laugh at him. But I want Nick to get well. I remember watching Nick do the Rittenhouse case. I remember watching Lawtube. A lot of these people were great. I mean, one of the people who sort of like it was talking to Barnes was Viva Fry, who's a Canadian lawyer, who's also you know become completely unhinged as time has gone on.
Oh,
A lot of
really?
these people have. Yeah, you know, it's gone from nice little family man. Here's a video of me and my dogs and my kid at the park, to basically looking like he's sitting in a storage container talking about the New World Order. It's you know,
Oh god.
this
That's
shit
a
has
switch.
like, you know, I mean that's hyperbole, you know.
Yeah.
But it is. It's you know much more extreme, much more kind of doom and gloom, much more conspiratorial.
Yeah.
And it's a very different feeling. I think the dreaded, you know, 2 to 3 year period, which we don't talk about anymore, really broke a lot of these people's brains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by 2 to 3 year period?
I don't know what happened recently, Xylie,
Yeah.
that we can't talk about. We don't talk about the.
Wait, what? Oh god,
What?
I'm lost. What? What?
Y'all. The pandemic.
Oh, you think that's what did it?
Yeah, I think the pandemic is what. drove people.
Honestly, I blame that for a lot of stuff. Like, people are very strange now, and I think it's because they had to stay inside for so long, and it just made them weird.
But you know,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
also like if you're like a libertarian who believes in personal freedoms and everything, you've got the government telling you to stay inside.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like for a lot of them, they would have stayed inside anyway. But you know.
it really affected the way a lot of these people see their governments, and
Yeah. No, it
you know,
did.
it
You're
made
right.
a lot of people more extreme. So I think we're still dealing with the fallout from that, with the way some of these people think. And a lot of people think that Nick was, like, you know, not a lot, but some people are claiming that the government set Nick up, that it's part of a conspiracy.
Oh,
It's an election year. Nick Rekieta could change the
Oh
course
my
of the, you know, this
God.
kind
Dang it, it is an election year.
it is an election year.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
have
you're
to
gonna
keep that in
try.
mind.
of... Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is kind of like where most people are. So right now, we're all still waiting for Nick to stream again. I saw a tweet earlier from his with like a screenshot with locals. Apparently, he's putting a new studio together. He wants to do more daytime streams, change the feel. So Nick posted Bond, which was about 50 grand. I don't know how that was done. It could have been like through a Bond person where it's like pays 10%, they pay the rest. But he posted Bond so he can drink still. His wife, interestingly, apparently seems not to have posted Bond. His wife seems to have taken the conditional for the release, which means she can't do anything.
Yeah, I noticed that he took the one where he can do whatever he wants, whereas she took one that she's got conditions.
Yeah, but Xylie, you got to understand, in Rekieta's mind, he's not got any problems. That's what seems to be coming through crystal clear.
Right.
Rekieta thinks this is all normal. Like, it's like, oh no, I can do whatever I want. He doesn't really recognize that he's got an issue. I mean, he's been arguing with like people in the DMs which got leaked, and this kind of stuff is like just dumb. You know, it's just dumb. I don't know if any of you have worked in a place where, you know, a lot of emails go back and forth, and occasionally somebody will say you're just discussing something in your theory crafting. You're like, okay, maybe this should be a meeting, or maybe this could be something that isn't in writing right now, because we don't want a chance of it being misinterpreted in the future or whatever. And I've got, you know, friends who've been in those situations, and you just want to have a chat about something.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of those where Rekieta is meant to be this. This is what I feel about all this. This guy is somebody a lot of people have looked to as intelligent and forward thinking, but dude's a idiot. Have you ever seen his response to a DMCA takedown?
No.
Let me get this up, because this is from Kiwi Farms. But he got struck for something, and this was his response. Let me just read it to you.
Okay.
NBC is a pile of human garbage. They actually are a threat to American freedom and don't understand the basic elements of the Copyright Act. In fact, they use money and power to suppress the voices of the people they attempt to brainwash and spoon-feed their regurgitated bullshit on a daily basis. This is obviously a fair use of the original material. Any basic, good faith, fair use analysis would show this falls heavily in favor of me. I imagine NBC's lawyers are actually reading this material and meditating over real legal works, just wishing they were involved, like the cucks they are. This work is highly transformative. I have clearly commented and criticized the original work so thoroughly, both in form and function, that the new work is entirely distinct from the original. No one is watching my content would ever actually watch the NBC video in virgin form, because NBC is a lying shit heap. My content adds the necessary expertise and background information for people to return an informed opinion on the matter presented, rather than the spoon-fed ass juice from a bunch of communists.
Oh. Okay, well, I got one thing that I want to say. If this was like his campaign for like being a lawyer, like that was his advertisement, I'd be like, that's the guy I want representing me.
Well,
he said ass juice just enough times that I feel like he could win the case.
It's interesting you say that. So Nick's currently in a civil case, and it's being overseen by a judge. Now, Nick doesn't like this judge. He also had this judge while dealing with representing somebody for a speeding ticket. Now, I believe that person that he was representing for the speeding ticket was actually April, the girl who also got arrested.
Right. Yeah.
But would you like to guess what he said about the judge?
Absolutely.
Live, publicly.
I couldn't imagine. I don't know, something about more ass juice, like.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you said that. He mentioned liquor.
Oh, okay.
That's close enough. That's a neighbor.
That is very close. Yeah, only an inch and a half away.
So. He was basically just calling her a stupid bitch. Now, because the universe has a sense of humor, that judge is also overseeing his criminal case.
Oh my god!
Oh, of course.
That's
That is
great.
so good.
What a twist.
Oh
What it was?
my
On the
god!
turntables.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like Rekieta's screwed. I feel
Yeah.
like he's screwed. I feel like he's screwed,
Yeah.
and he kind of did it to himself. I
He
mean,
definitely did it to himself,
Yeah.
man. Look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. all the way down to the judge. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know what? You
That
mentioned
is
that
so
you
good.
think the police have been watching him for a while. What makes you think that?
Well, the fact the police said they had.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh.
So they've released statements and things. They've sort of made a lot of this public.
so why have they
Yeah.
been watching him for a while?
Well, it seems like the mandatory report came in a while ago, and then the police have been gathering information.
Oh.
That's my impression, anyway. I should emphasize that I'm not a lawyer. I
Mhm.
am apparently more careful about what I say than most of the lawyers in Lawtube, but
yeah.
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
I've never called a judge a bitch. So
Good
that's
Good
nice.
on you, Beckett.
Beckett.
Good on you,
Oh.
Beckett. I'm
I
proud.
think it's safe. Yeah.
I was gonna say try it, but
No.
Never mind.
We don't take any legal advice from Bunny, please. Thank you.
I give great advice.
No. But no, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they said that they had been watching him for a while. You know, and it was the day. Wasn't he like really the night before he got raided? Wasn't he like completely toasted on a stream?
Yeah, he was he's constantly. The night before that, he was like, well, it looked like he was attending
Playing
to
with himself. Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I got questions about that. So, was he cranking it, or was he
Okay,
getting
so there are
slobbed on?
three core theories. that are
Oh,
currently
three.
occurring.
Okay.
There are three core theories. So theory number one was that it's a 3 or 4. There might be 4. Okay, theory number one is that April crawled under the table, and he says, "Why would you do this now?" And she begins to
do her thing.
do
That's
her
what
thing.
I heard. Yeah.
That's theory number one. Theory number 2 is he loses his mind as to where he is and begins cranking it. Now, there's further context to that clip, and that is that he'd been sent furry dragon pornography
Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay.
through a super chat. Like Null covered this on Mad at the Internet. Now, because of that theory, it's that basically he was doing a DSP impression. He's just so drunk he fucked it up.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other theory is that he is like his arm was spazzing out.
That seems very likely.
Yeah, I don't know where on the ladder that theory comes in. But it
Yeah.
seems pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the core theories. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh my god.
So you know what? That's probably why they finally decided to raid his house the next day.
Yeah.
That stream probably did it.
Yeah.
Because look, his skin was so bad he practically looked translucent.
Look, yeah, you saw like a bunch of photos on Twitter, right? Where it was like 1 year ago, him and his wife, and then like it was like 10 months ago, then it was like 2 weeks ago, and then each one that just looked more and more gaunt and more like, you know, translucent, as you said. And
Yeah.
it's just like you just go, wait, what's going on? A lot of people were theorizing, oh yeah, Ozempic. But it's like, nah, dude.
No,
Mm,
I can tell
What
you
they're doing
now, as
online.
somebody who's on Ozempic, that's not Ozempic. That is
Yeah.
that's something way worse.
That's
Yeah.
something sniff, yeah.
We all saw this coming. Now, there's also accusations he's got track marks on his arm, that it's heroin, all this kind of
Oh,
stuff.
God.
But it is all just theory crafting at the moment. The only thing that
Yeah.
they've really got there is like cocaine. And that seems to be what Aaron is pointing towards as well on his little media tour.
Yeah, about talking
Yeah.
about his wife or now ex-wife, I'm guessing, like they're going through
Well, they were
that.
already getting divorced.
Yeah.
getting divorced.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Because he was like verbally saying, like, you know, she was on coke all the time, and every time, like, you know, he was saying to Nick, like, you can't keep doing this, man. You're doing it more and more.
I'll
and,
be
like,
honest, Aaron's boring. I'd take cocaine as well if I had to be married to
Yeah,
Aaron.
well.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's the thing. I thought like they were doing kind of it together. Like, you know, they had hot tub streams and whatever, and they were very open about being open. And even though it was like mostly tongue in cheek sort of like talk at that stage, you can tell that they were like, you know, in like a foursome, not a throuple or whatever. And then like things got worse and worse between Aaron and April just hanging out with Nick and his wife a lot, and it's sort of just stumbled into that. I think he lost control over, like, you know, having, well, not control, just kind of lost his wife to that kind of lifestyle.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting that earlier on when we were talking about Nick having 100,000 concurrent, Xylie was like, "I close the computer, I lose my mind." It does seem that the stress is what's done this to him, like the civil case, of having so much viewership, of you know, the constant, you know, a lot of people aren't built for that kind of pressure, and you know, even as a celebrity, at least, you know, a real celebrity, not like a YouTube celeb, but like you've kind of got this barrier there between like you and an audience. You've got like a whole team working with you. You've not got like people constantly showing you. You got 100,000 people in your chat showering you with attention or criticism or comments. Most people are gonna snap. Of course they are.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, why the cocaine got introduced, because you can only handle so much stress.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, will be fine. Subscribe to Cope and See.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
subscribe to Cope and Seed, which, by the way, will be in the description down below. FYI. He is, of course, co-host over there. Oh my God, Jenny. God, Jenny, don't kill me. But he is over there with Jenny, and she is amazing. She can find anything you ever want to find on the internet.
Yeah, it's just it's actually terrifying.
Yeah.
If you're interested in this law stuff, like, you know, not law as in L-A-W, but law as in L-O-R-E, like Beckett is all up in that. So, and Jenny, of course, like at Cope and See. So, go have a look, check them out.
Well, thank you for coming by and explaining all that. Because I didn't know it was like that deep. I'm just sitting here wondering why everybody, like, I'm literally like, at one point, I was getting mad watching Dick Masterson on Twitter about Rekieta. I'm like, will y'all just look at Rekieta and his wife? There's no way he was taking care of his kids. Neither was she. Look at them.
No.
They look like skeletons. They look like they're Skeletor and He-Man's coming to save the day. Like, bro.
If only.
If only. But, all right. Well, Eva, I guess go ahead and take us out. Thank you, Beckett, by the way.
Thank you so much, Becca, for joining us and getting us all that backstory. A lot of it we kind of didn't know, which was excellent.
I certainly didn't know,
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime. Anytime, as always.
Beautiful.
He's an honorary broad now, so. You know.
Absolutely. Honorary broad. So, that was the broadcast. And, you know, if you like what you hear here, and you'd also like to support the channel, please become either a member. You know, you can like and subscribe to the channel. You could also share it with your friends, with your family, with your grandma, whoever you think's interested in this sort of stuff. And, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna have like a nervous breakdown at some point. It'll be fine.
Oh my God.
For punishment, for sure.
Don't say that. Stop.